How much are you planning to spend on the holidays this year? If you're like most people, the answer is probably either I don't know or way too much. The holidays are supposed to be about connection, family, and joy, but somehow we've turned them into a financial stress test and a marathon shopping spree. There are influencer unboxings everywhere you look and a new flash sale every time you open your email. And so many of us are walking around pretending to be able to afford things that we really can't. So today, I'm going to be walking you through how to enjoy the holidays without wreaking havoc on your finances or absolutely hating yourself come January. If you're new here, I'm Julie, a former investment banker turned finance coach. My goal is to help you achieve financial freedom and live the life of your dreams. So here's the thing about the holidays. They're expensive, like really expensive. Between gifts, travel, hosting, food, and decorations, the average American spends close to $2,000 during the holiday season. And if you're even remotely successful, and definitely if you're a high earner, you're probably spending a lot more than that. But here's what nobody talks about. A lot of that spending comes from guilt, obligation, and trying to keep up appearances instead of actual joy and prioritizing what matters most to you. This is your one life. And the goal is not to spend money unnecessarily just to try and impress people. The goal should really be spending intentionally on things that matter most to you. And honestly, skipping all the rest. So today, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to spend intentionally on the holidays without financially sabotaging yourself. So let's get started. First, let's talk about what overspending on the holidays actually costs you. It's not just about overspending in November and December. It's also about the guilt, the shame, and the lingering credit card bills that pile up come the new year. If you overspend by, let's say, $2,000 on the holidays because it's the holiday season, that's not just $2,000. If you're putting that on your credit card, it's $2,000 plus the 20% plus interest that's going to be accruing on that money over the next few months until you're able to pay it off. Not only that, but it's setting you up for a bad financial start to the new year. A lot of us don't think now about how we're going to feel about that in January, but it's really important to take a step back and actually consider that. If you spend cash that you're planning to save or invest, or you rack up a balance on your credit card, you could be delaying your financial goals for months or even years to come. That $2,000 could have gone toward your emergency fund or your retirement account or the debt that you've been trying to pay off. But instead, you've overspent on the holidays for things that you may or may not even remember come February. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't spend on the holidays. I'm saying to spend on things that matter to you, do it intentionally, and don't do it just for the optics. Decide what you actually care about, what's important to you and your family, and ignore the rest. Don't let those flashy sales, those beautifully decorated Christmas windows, and all of the influencers with their LTK apps and their Target discount codes influence you into making poor decisions that you'll later regret. So, how can you accomplish this? First, let's talk about your holiday budget. When it comes to a holiday budget, it shouldn't be bare bones and it shouldn't be stressful or even minimalistic. A holiday budget should be joyful and abundant. In order to set this up, you're first going to decide on your holiday spending number. This number is the max you're going to spend on the holidays based on your current budget and income. If you set a holiday budget earlier in the year, you already know what this number is. But if you haven't done so and you're trying to figure it out, you're going to need to take a look at any gift budget that you set for yourself and any excess money that you have left over the next couple of months in order to put toward gifts and holiday spending. If you realize you don't have any money left over, then you're going to need to take a look at your current budget and reallocate some money from other categories into a holiday spending budget. If you have $1,000 left over, great. But if you don't, you need to reallocate that money and figure out exactly how much you're willing to spend. What you're not going to do is rack up a ton of debt for holiday spending. Once you've got your number, you're then going to allocate this money according to everything that you want to spend on during this holiday season. So go ahead and make a list of everything that you might want to spend during this holiday season. For this, I'm talking about gifts, travel, decorations, that Christmas tree you might want, any food, drinks, decorations for any parties or events you plan to host, any obligations that your children's school might have, or a holiday party at work that you may need to buy a gift for. And don't forget to include any holiday cards and the stamps that you're going to need to send them out. Literally anything holiday related, go ahead and write it down. Then you're going to go through the list and think about what's negotiable and non-negotiable. There's going to be things on this list, let's say gifts for your kids, that are non-negotiable items that you're going to have to spend money on. Then there's going to be some items that could be negotiable. For example, maybe you don't need to send out physical cards. Maybe you can send virtual ones instead. Once you have a complete list, you're going to then allocate the money that you've put aside for holiday spending into these items. Obviously, you want to prioritize the non-negotiable items first, but if you have enough money in your budget, feel free to spend on some of the negotiable items as well. When you're going through this list, remember, you don't need to spend $500 to $1,000 on every single item. You can find ways to cut costs and prioritize things that are truly important to you. Chances are there's probably some things on this list that you thought were priorities for you that really might not be. And definitely consider finding cheaper alternatives for some of the priority items on your list. Homemade gifts, home cooked food, hosting at your house instead of at a venue. All of these might be alternatives that still keep the joy and intention of the holiday season without making you go broke. The goal here is not to deprive yourself. The goal here is intentional spending and making sure you consciously decide where your money is going instead of just letting things happen and hoping for the best. So now that you've got your budget and your list of priorities, let's talk about how to actually give generously during the holiday season without going broke. You really can be intentional and joyful and generous and financially responsible at the same time. These two concepts can coexist. So let's talk a little bit about gift giving. A lot of us are spending way too much money on gifts. And for a lot of us, this is stemming from a place of guilt, obligation, or competition. And honestly, a lot of times that's just our ego. Most adults don't actually want more stuff. We want more intention, more experiences, and more time with the people that we care about. Most people want thoughtfulness over monetary value. So one hot take on gift giving would be, instead of spending $200, $300, $400 on a gift for your mom or your best friend, how about spending time with them instead? Taking them out to a special dinner or to a show that they've been wanting to see. Put some thought behind the gift and give them something that is more valuable than money, your time. For kids, obviously they want toys, video games, electronics. But here's the thing, they don't need 15 to 20 gifts. In most instances, kids will write a super long Christmas list, but there's 2 to 4 things on their list that they really want, and that if you got for them, they would be more than happy. So when it comes to the children in your life, figure out what those top gifts are, put some thought into the shopping that you do for them, and get them a few really great, thoughtful gifts that they really, really have been wanting. A few things that you can do to ensure you stick to your budget and still give generously are to set a spending limit per person. Maybe it's $50, maybe it's $20, maybe it's $200. Think about your budget and what works for you and then stick to it. Another thing you can do is consider doing a secret Santa or a white elephant instead of giving gifts to every single person in your life. Instead of having to buy gifts for 10 or 15 people, you can just give one really thoughtful gift to one person. Doing these gift exchanges with a group of friends or with your family makes holiday shopping a lot less stressful and way more affordable. I mentioned this before, but another thing that you can do is make the gift an experience. Buy your sibling tickets to a concert in January. Get your mom tickets to a Broadway play in February. Give them something to look forward to and something that will actually help build your relationship instead of just draining your bank account. Finally, be honest about your budget. If people in your life are putting pressure on you to give super expensive gifts that you cannot afford, just be honest. It's okay to say, hey, I really can't afford that this year, so don't expect me to spend as much on gifts this year. Honesty is always the best policy, and if people realize that the pressure that they're putting on you to give lavish gifts is stressing you out, it will help them realize that they're doing it, back off, and respect your boundaries. The point here is generosity does not have to equate to overspending. You can be thoughtful, kind, and generous while still being financially responsible. And honestly, anyone who makes you feel bad about that isn't someone whose opinion you should really be caring about anyway. Okay, so now let's talk about the hard part. What to do when everyone around you seems to be spending money like it's growing on trees. Because let's be honest, it can be hard. Your friends are booking expensive trips out of town. Your family is going all out on decorations. Everyone's posting their perfect holiday setups on Instagram. And you're sitting there with your budget spreadsheet and your debt payoff plan, feeling like the fun police. First, it's really important to remember that what you're seeing on social media most likely is not real. Half the people that are overspending are going into debt to make it happen. The influencers that you see posting gift after gift, unboxing after Christmas setup, and 5 trees in their house, they are being gifted these items by brands. Very few people are actually as financially comfortable as they make it seem on social media. And second, you also have to decide what really matters to you. Is it keeping up with the Joneses? Or is it being financially responsible and continuing to work toward your long-term goals, even through the holiday hustle and bustle and overspending? Do you really want to deck your house out in decorations? Or did you just see your neighbor down the block do it and you want to follow suit? Do you actually want to host an elaborate holiday party? Or do you just feel pressure from friends and family? It's important to get really honest about what it is you want and what's important to you versus what's just performance. It's also really important to say no without over-explaining. Maybe you feel comfortable and confident saying, hey, that's not in my budget this year, or I'm keeping things low key this holiday season. But maybe you don't, and that's okay. You don't owe anyone an explanation about your choices, and you definitely don't owe anyone access to your financial information or your financial decision making. So if it feels better for you to simply say, nope, not doing that this year, just know that that's okay too. And remember, if people are judging you for being financially responsible, that says way more about them than it does about you. Your goal this holiday season is not to be cheap or to deprive yourself of things that actually bring you joy and that fit in your budget. The goal is to spend your money on things that actually matter to you instead of trying to impress people or meet expectations that don't even align with your values. You're allowed to enjoy the holidays on your own terms. And honestly, that's way more satisfying than trying to keep up with a bunch of people who are honestly probably broke anyway. Okay, so let's talk about what you can do after you're done watching this video to make sure you have a financially responsible yet joyful holiday season. First, make your holiday budget. Figure out how much money that you have to spend on the holidays this year, and then figure out everything that you may want to spend money on. Then allocate your budget accordingly. Step 2, have those tough conversations with family or friends, anyone that you might feel could pressure you into breaking your holiday budget, and anyone who may have expectations of you that you're not really sure if you can meet. Step 3, pick 1 or 2 things that are super important to you this holiday season. Choose your priority items and make sure to prioritize those. And everything else that's negotiable, set it to the side. The bottom line here is the holidays are a joyful time and they should add to your life, not make you miserable or stress you out. and certainly not put a strain on you financially. You deserve all the joy that the holidays bring without any stress waiting for you in January. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, and you know the deal. Subscribe, share it with a friend. And if you would like, drop a comment and let me know what's one thing you are not spending money on this holiday season. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.